Hello, everyone. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up-and-coming queen of real estate, and I'm here for another episode of Tuesday Tip at 2. Hey, everybody. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, queen of real estate and social media extraordinaire, and I'm here for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. Listen, let's walk through today 9 questions. Let me get it right. 9 questions that home buyers have. Okay. Last time in my Tuesday Tip at 2, I talked about home seller questions, but today I'm going to talk through home buyer questions. Let me remind you, I am a PA licensed realtor and I service the Philadelphia and surrounding suburbs, Montgomery County, Delaware County, Bucks County, Chester County, and anything else that's around Philadelphia. I can help, okay? So if you're interested in buying in the area, you know what you need to do. You need to go to book.djmrealtyco.com. Again, that is book.djmrealtyco.com. Okay. So before we get into it, hello, new subscribers and returning subscribers. If you have not subscribed to this channel, if you're stumbling across this video, I need you to go ahead and subscribe, okay? Get your all notifications bell, all that good stuff. Number 1, what is the first step to home buying? The first step to home buying is typically getting pre-approved. I always say it's interchangeable as far as what is the first step, because sometimes you may not know where to go to get a pre-approval. So I would say the first step is really getting pre-approved. If you know a lender that you can go to, a lot of times people will go through their credit union or their bank. But if you have an idea of a lender that you can go to, you already did the steps of, hey, I know I did my savings. I know that my credit is where it needs to be. And you already did that stuff. I know, hey, I have a stable income and all that good stuff. And I've been at my job long enough. So I know that I am set up and ready to go to get pre-approved. You may not know where to get pre-approved. You may not know what you need. You may not know the very, very first steps of how much savings you need and all these different things. So that's why I always say contact a real estate professional to help to get you started and point you in the right directions. So number 2, should I sell my current property before buying a new one? It's a tricky question, and it really depends. So if you're using the proceeds of your current house and property to go ahead and get a new property, then yes, you definitely want to use the proceeds from your current property to go ahead and get you your new property. So for example, if you sell your property and you need you want to use $50,000, you want to use $100,000, you want to use any of that equity for the sale of your property towards your dream home or towards your new home, then yes, you will need to simultaneously sell your property and buy a property at the same time. So the way that it works is you will get pre-approved. You definitely want to do that first step first, but you want to have a real estate professional come in, check it out, see what's going on with it, and get it ready to be put on the market. And when you go ahead to start buying a house, you want to make that house contingent upon you selling a property. That is something that you can write in your contract when you're going to buy. So you just make the sale of your property contingent upon you being able to find housing. And then what also makes it the trickiest is being able to close on the same day, so that the funds and proceeds from the house that you are selling will be able to be forwarded to and you can use it to buy the property that you're trying to get. So it can be tricky. It really depends on the scenario. If you can buy your house minus the sale of your own house, that's always great as well. And then you can do one at a time. But if you cannot and you need to sell it in order to buy, then it's doable, but it's just we have to make sure everything is in alignment. Question number 3 is, should I do a home inspection? Should you do a home inspection? Yes, as a buyer, you want to do a home inspection. Why? Because it's giving you information about your property. It's letting you know what's going on with the property. It's giving you information about the house. It's letting you know if it's a good property to purchase. Now, in every home inspection, doesn't matter if you have a new build, doesn't matter if you have a remodel home, something always comes up. The point is to make sure that it's nothing major and or detrimental to your pockets. Essentially, it's not going to be something that costs you in the long run. Question number 4, should I do a final walkthrough? 110%. There are a myriad of stories that I've heard. I haven't necessarily experienced them, but plenty of stories where it's something that was supposed to stay in the house, or that was supposed to be there, that's supposed to come with the house, is not there. Okay. So you want to make sure. I typically do final walkthroughs with clients right before we go to closing, literally. So before we go to the closing table, we're reviewing the property, make sure everything is cleared out, making sure everything is where it's supposed to be. So it's very important to do a final walkthrough. Question number 5. How does earnest money deposit work? How does earnest money deposit work? Earnest money deposit is your good faith deposit. Okay. So when you have a contract, you are also putting some money on that contract. It is different from your down payment in regards to your mortgage. It is, again, the money, your good faith money that you are attaching to the contract of the house that you want. And so it is typically 1 to 3% of whatever the purchase price is. In this day and age, if it is a bit more of a competitive market, it may be 5%, okay, or more. It may be a lot higher. But know that earnest money deposit is held as escrow, and it is credited. It is credited from your closing cost amount. Okay. The things that'll make you in jeopardy of losing it is if you back out of the contract, not under the clauses and contingencies that are in the agreement itself. If you need more answers in regards to that, you know what you need to do. You need to hit me up. Okay. Question number 6: how many houses should I view before purchasing one? I don't know. But what I will say is that it is not HGTV life when you're looking for a house. So there is no magic number of 3, and then you pick from there. It really has to do with what the inventory is. If you really, really like a property, I know I went on one tour with a property. I think we saw maybe 3 houses, and out of that, my client chose a house that day and is still living there to this day. That was a few years back. So it really just depends on what you like, what's in the area, what's the inventory. And, hopefully it doesn't take forever for you to find that house, but sometimes it can take a while to find it. And it really is a balance between being decided and sometimes the inventory and what's available to you. So, it depends. That's all I can say about that. When you go into the home buying process, make sure you are prepared to decide and to revise your decisions. I'll put it that way. Question number 7. What happens if you decide to back out of buying a house? Well, that depends. If you're under contract, as I said before, if you're backing out because of something based in the inspection report, because you have an inspection contingency, if it has to do with your mortgage, the mortgage will not go through. You have a mortgage contingency. You have an appraisal contingency. So if it's surrounding those contingencies, you're within your right to back out of the house. Okay. If you're backing out because I see another one came on the market, that's a bit more tricky. And as a realtor, I have to be a bit more clever in how we address that. Otherwise, you can be in jeopardy of losing that earnest money deposit that we talked about. So when you back out of the contract and it's not under those contingencies, you are at risk of not getting your earnest money deposit back. Okay. And a lot of times when you're a buyer, you need every piece of money that you have. Now, if you have money to spare, that's your business. But if you do not, you have to be mindful of the decisions that you make. Now, if you want to stop because, hey, I've been trying to buy a house, I've put in offers and all that stuff, but I'm not getting anywhere, that's a different scenario. And you want to cool off. And it's like, oh, well, my mortgage, my pre-approval expire. It does. And typically you can just go back in with your lender when you are ready to try again. And just send in some updated paperwork. Don't do anything drastic, like spend a whole bunch of money or credit cards and, buy a new car or something like that. So don't do anything drastic, but you might have to take a breather, or maybe you want to wait until, the spring market because you have children and all that stuff. That is possible. Question number 8. What is a mortgage and how does it work? Well, it is the way for you to buy a house. You have terms in order to make payments on it. It is funding you. Okay. It's giving you the funds to be able to purchase a house. Now you can do a 10-year, 15-year, 30-year mortgage. I think they have 20-year too. I think FHA has some 40-year mortgages. So depending on the mortgage, depending on the terms, it is a bank or a lender giving you the money in order for you to buy a house, and you are contractually obligated to make payments. Otherwise, you are putting yourself at risk for that house to be taken from you. And the last question number 9. What is the process of using an escrow entail? So when your money is being held in escrow, it is typically held, if I'm a buyer agent and I'm representing you, the buyer, it is the listing side that is holding the money in escrow that you're under contract with, the listing side who is representing the seller, they're holding that money and making sure that all the conditions and terms are met in regards to the property so that you can go through with the sale of the property. So that money is held in escrow. That's all for today. I hope that helps. I hope that brings clarity. Of course, if you have any more questions beyond that, you know what you need to do. You need to go to book.djmrealtyco.com. Again, book.djmrealtyco.com and schedule a buyer consultation. And we can talk about your options, what you need to do, and get you on the road to getting your dream home. Remember, there's no place like home, no place like home buying. And I'll be talking with you guys soon. Bye.